Hi, welcome to the Underrated Growth Podcast, where we talk about realistic growth. What are you doing today to be a better person tomorrow? My name is Cass, and I have my friend's sister, who is now my friend, Miriam, with me.
Hello.
Say hi.
Hello.
So, Miriam, just so our viewers get to know you, how old are you?
I'm 27. I'm married with one kid. He's 4, and I've been married for maybe 5 years almost. Yeah, about to be 5 years.
Oh, wow, that's a long time. Married 5 years? So, how
Almost,
long have
yeah.
you guys been together?
Mm, since May of 2018. So we've probably been together for 5 years, married going to be 4 then. Yeah. And we count it.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, together 5, married 4. But it's been good. I like it. Fun. Married life.
Okay, so Miriam, you have one child. How old is he?
He's 4.
Four. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I've heard from a little birdie that you've been doing a lot of changes in your life. How's that been going for
Yes.
you?
Really good. Stressful at times, but I think it's worth it and it'll be worth it in the long run.
Okay.
Hmm.
So do you want more kids?
Yes, of course.
How many do you see yourself with?
2. No more. No more than 2.
That's so funny because I think the max I see myself with two right now, I'm literally contemplating if I want to do it again. Because
Yeah.
it's like once they're a certain age, you kind of don't want to start all over.
No. You're like, okay, maybe I could. One is fine.
Yeah, I know, because then you're like, you know what? I'm kind of more experienced now.
Yeah.
I kind of know what to expect.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like, I don't know if I want to do it again.
Yeah.
You know?
Then I start seeing all the little babies,
Baby fever.
TikToks. Yeah, no, at night crying.
Oh.
And I'm like,
And you're
oh.
like, never mind.
Yeah, I have to go through that again. Never. I think one is fine.
So how has motherhood been treating you? How's that?
It's been good. I like it.
You've had challenges?
Yeah, a
We
lot.
all do.
I mean, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. We go through so much being parents, but I don't know. I think we just go day by day. You
Yeah.
know, we can't really dwell too much on it.
You
It's
know,
okay, today was a hard day, but I got through it. It's fine.
that is such a good point, because I used to be the one where I would stress myself so much. And then I realized I had to take it day by day. Like, that's the only way you can take it, because I would be
Yeah.
stressing about like 2 weeks from now. And then I realized, like, my husband would be like, bro, we're not even there yet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to die tomorrow.
Yeah. No, you have to make the most of it. Even if at times you get mad or stuff happens that are so stressful, you kind of have to take a deep breath and push through it.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, do you feel that you handle hard situations easy, or is it still very difficult? I mean, like, looking back in the years, do you feel like you handle things easier now?
It depends. There's some things that I'm very good at, like staying calm and just kind of whatever about it.
Yeah.
But there's some things that can trigger me.
She's like, I just had a mental breakdown on the way
No,
here.
literally. Not on the way here, but there's so many
Yesterday.
times where it's like, yeah, I'll tell my husband yeah, today I'm too overwhelmed. I just need a break. Can I go lay down?
Yeah, no, it is like that, because my husband knows. I guess, like, my face, I've always been told that, like, I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Yeah.
So it's very noticeable when I'm feeling something.
Yeah.
So when my husband gets home, if I'm not smiling at the door, he's like, what's wrong?
They know.
They know.
They can sense it right
They
away.
know.
Yeah.
But I think it's like a woman thing. I think we're like, we show our emotions very easily.
Yeah. No, we do. I'm the same way.
I think that's a
I
good thing,
cannot hide when I'm mad or I'm sad or
because it's hard. Like, when our men are quiet, we're like, is he mad? Is he sad? Is he happy? Like,
yeah.
talk to me.
Well, with my husband, he walks through. Are you okay? What's wrong? And I'm fine. I don't want to talk. Just tell me what's going on. We can sense
Aw.
things so fast.
Yeah, that's so true. So, what has been the hardest part about being a mom for you?
I think I stress about whether I'm gonna traumatize him in the long run.
You know what?
I think I think about that too much.
Yeah, no, you don't. I think about that all the time. And sometimes I think like it's just me. Like I think it's because we've been through so much trauma. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And like
Yes.
we have that big fear of like my kid's gonna relive it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we're
Mm-hmm.
giving them the same life. But then like, see, I used to think that all the time. I'm like, oh my God, I am messing up. I'm not raising her how I'm supposed to, and blah 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 blah. And then I had to step back and realize, like, wait, she's had it a lot better than I have had it.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then I'm like, you know what? I'm a good mom.
Yes. You know, like once my son starts kind of showing other people and like implementing what we've taught him towards others, you know, because he's so sweet, my son. So he's the sweetest. He'll like, we were the other day, we went to Flat Top. Have you been there?
No.
It's a restaurant. So good. It's in Lombard. No, Yorktown, like Lombard, Yorktown.
Yeah.
Mall. So good. We were walking out of the door. This lady opens the door for him, and he went and hugged her, you know, to like thank her.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I love him. Like, thank you so much. That just made my day. And I'm just like, okay. That means like I'm doing a good job.
You're
you know?
raising
like,
him with a good heart.
yes. So hopefully, you know, I know at home sometimes me and my husband will argue when we go through things. But hopefully he doesn't remember that too much.
Girl,
You know,
I feel you
hopefully.
there.
Yeah.
I feel you there because even like as an adult, I'd be like, what's the earliest thing that I remember?
Yes. Like, because for me, like my childhood, I remember a lot of the fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I remember all of that. So it's kind of like I have to stop myself in that moment.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
And that's something that people don't talk about. It's very hard when you're heated in the moment to stop and be like, I can't do that because my child is watching. Because you have to literally put your feelings aside. You have to be selfless for your child. And even though a lot of people think, well, you're supposed to do that because you're a mom, you have to swallow a lot of your feelings to be able to put their feelings aside.
Yeah.
And that's something that you don't know in day one of being a mom. Like you grow to learn that.
Yep.
So I think that's a really good point because that is something that I have struggled with. Where things would happen and I was very quick to snap.
Yeah.
But again, because of my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone would tell me something, I would snap back. And I learned that I can't do that because I'm teaching my daughter to snap back.
Yeah.
And then it's going to affect her marriage when she grows up.
Yeah.
And she's going to think this is how we communicate, even though it's not, you know? So every little detail that a mother makes and a father really affects who you become in the long run.
Yep. When they're older, you're going to see it.
Yeah. That's why when I see somebody that's like so disrespectful or like so broken, I'm just like, wow, they probably had, I mean, no disrespect,
childhood.
but like shitty ass parents.
Yeah.
Because you become a like reflective image, literally a spitting image of your parents.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like those situations where men become like wife beaters and their dad would beat on the mom. You get what I'm saying? Like you raise them to be just like you.
Yep. And then once the parents are old, you know, once you get older and the parents are seeing that you are them, they don't like it.
Mm-hmm. They'll be like, well, in English, but like they'll be like, I didn't raise you like that.
Actually,
girl, yeah, you did.
actually, yes, you did.
Technically.
Yeah, it's hard. I think that topic is always like a touchy one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So speaking about a touchy topic, like we've mentioned, we had childhood trauma. How do you think that you've healed from that? Or do you think you've healed from it?
I've been trying.
Oh,
I've been
and
trying.
what are your coping mechanisms for anyone that's out there and struggling with childhood trauma? How did you handle it? Or how do you feel that is a good way to handle it?
How I'm trying to handle it still.
What's working?
Well, I feel like I have to take a step back, you know, when it comes to if anything wants to like trigger me, I have to sit back and I have to just stop thinking so much, you know, kind of like watch my mouth because
You have to reflect.
yes, a lot. Just think about, okay, like, because with my childhood trauma, I think it's kind of like coming into my marriage and my kid.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, you know, I feel bad because a lot of things that I can get very, very angry, you know, and that I have to step back a little bit and realize that, like, why am I actually being angry?
Yeah,
Like,
like I have
why?
no reason.
Yeah, like, no, like, sometimes it's the smallest, and my husband will try to snap me out of it. He'll be like, hey, like, why? Like, why are you so mad? Nothing happened. But sometimes it's just probably like the stress of the day. I get home and I can't really like let it out on anybody. And I think that's kind of how like I grew up in my with my childhood, seeing that. So
That you take your
now,
stress out on family.
yeah, like anybody around you, just anybody. But now I've been going to the gym.
Okay, good.
Yes, and I didn't notice that it was helping me with that part, like my anger and all of that, until my husband brought it up to me.
Because you're using it as something positive.
Yeah, he was like, I'm so proud of you. It's like making you, how did he say it? He just said it was like, um it's making you happier at home. And I said, really? Really? You notice? And he's like, yeah, you come home, you're like not stressed anymore. You're just happy and you just do things just because, you know, like I'll do like more stuff around the house because I want to. I don't come home and just like sit down and be on my phone or, you know, just shut everything out.
Yeah, that's true because when I go to the gun range with my husband, um, in that position, I feel like I put all the worries that I'm having in that week and that month into the bullet. So when I
Okay.
shoot it and I like empty out a mag, girl, I feel like the stress off my shoulders off. Like I just shot out all my stress.
Yeah.
So I get it, what that feels like actually releasing it into something where you don't have to keep taking it home with you.
Yes. Yeah, it helps a lot. And like I feel we all have to find something to get our mind off of everyday stuff. You know, we can't dwell on it either. I think my sister has helped me a lot too, actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, cause she's worked hard on herself too. She used to be like that, like
Snappy.
snap, yeah. And
Yeah.
you know, when something's like happening to me or I'm like triggered, I just call her, not to like trauma dump, but almost, you know, just to. She snaps me out of it a lot.
To see if you're the issue.
Yeah, that, but also, you know, like she understands. We have that bond, you know, like she understands, like,
Because of the same background.
yes. So she'll help me a lot push through it and just get over it. And then at the end of the conversation, we're like laughing.
So you want to know something?
What's up?
There'll be another podcast with Yessie coming up next week, but I worked a lot with Yessie, and she told me her issue was the anger. So we've had a lot of conversations here in this pretty little room,
In your office?
in my office, in my therapy room,
Yes.
where I told her multiple times that she needed to work on that.
Yeah.
And I explained to her, she would tell me why this happened. Am I wrong? And I would say, yes, you are, because so and so or so and so. And Yessie had the same issues where there was nothing wrong, and she would let her anger or anxiety get the best of her.
Yes. Yeah.
So I am so glad to hear that she's now helping you,
Yeah.
because a year ago I was helping her.
Yes, you helped her so much. She's grown a lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, we all noticed, and we're like, whoa, yes, like, what, you? You know,
Yeah.
like, I don't know if she told you she bought a Bible the other day.
She did. Yeah.
And we were all so proud of her.
Guess who told her to buy it?
I know who. Yeah, we were all so proud of her. We're like, oh my God, yes, you know, like, this is a big step for you. Like, I'm so proud of her.
It is. I'm glad that you bring up the Bible. You know why?
Why?
You know how you said that you hold a lot of anger? Let me tell you a little secret. So I'm assuming it was your dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, both.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Both. I think my mom, a lot of it too, but.
So let me tell you how this starts. In the spiritual world, everything is spiritual. I know a lot of people don't believe that. Everything is spiritual. It's either good or bad. In the spiritual world, there's demons and there's angels, right? There's demons that make you have anger. So there's this demon specifically We'll talk about that more. Her name, it's a female.
Oh.
She likes to come in between marriages. So she'll attack the house. What am I saying? Like the person,
The head household.
yeah, which is the father, the man. Because if she can tear down the husband, she can tear down the whole family. Okay? So what happens is she'll attack the husband. And I'm telling you this in case anyone out there has experienced this with their husband, or if you ever happen to experience it with your husband, to pray. Because she likes to attack the husband to where it can cause either temptation to the husband to want to cheat. It can cause anger to the husband to want to lash out on their wife. It can cause them to become addicts to drugs, porn, so-and-so. Any way that it can attack the husband, it will attack. Because the second that it attacks the husband, now it's in between your marriage between the husband and the wife. And once there's problem between them, they start fighting and they start arguing towards each other and arguing and screaming. And now it's affecting your children around. So then your kids grow up thinking that this is normal. And then they grow up and raise a family the exact same way that they seen their parents do it. And then the same thing. Their kids go through it. And it's vice versa and vice versa. And generations and generations and generations. And now what happened is this demon is breaking bloodlines. You know, she's breaking down bloodlines instead of having healthy, happy homes. So I'm so glad that Yessie is learning about this. I'm sure she'll be able to help out the whole family with things now. But it's real. It happens. So, I mean, we are victims to those things.
Yeah.
And now that I am educated myself, I am able to understand when I see a broken home and I'm like, wow, like he's being attacked, you know, by a demon specifically. And even just like addicts or us, when we get angry, it's what's causing us to have conflict with our significant other, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't think a lot of people take that serious, but it does go back to like childhood. But if you think about it, if it came from our parents, something was going on with our parents. You get what I'm saying? Like something was making them fight. Something was making them argue. And if you look at this generation now, there's like not really any parents that are together anymore.
Yeah.
Like they separate when they're like 40, 50. Like, ya pa qué?
Yeah. And then also like all of that anger will cause more and more and more and more of that energy too. So it gets bigger and bigger. It turns into a snowball.
Yeah, I agree.
Unfortunately.
Honestly, I think for like my childhood trauma, I think what I would say helped me, I didn't even know that I had specific childhood trauma until I actually read the Bible. I didn't know. I thought that like I was cool. When I was reading the Bible, I was like, I'm good. Like I don't have any issues, blah, blah, blah. Girl, when you read the Bible starts to read you. So I was like, that's me right there. When I was reading the paper, I was like, I do that. I'm like, I have that issue.
Yeah.
And God helped me see more clear. And I was like, I have things that have to change. Like, for example, I thought I forgave my dad for things that he did. And then I started to realize I didn't. I would just sweep it under the rug and say I forgave him because I didn't want it to affect me. I wanted to ignore it instead of facing the problem. And then I realized that I actually didn't forgive him. And it started off by even if I didn't believe it, I would just keep saying, I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you.
Okay. Kind
Until
of like doing that.
Until the day that I actually said it and I believed it. You get what I'm saying? Like sometimes you don't even believe it, but you have to keep saying it until you can relate to that, what you're saying. And then the day that I actually said, I forgive you, I meant it. I meant it. The day came where I meant it, you know?
It felt freeing, probably.
Yeah, it did. And like he doesn't even know what I forgive him for, but you know, only us inside we know. Yeah, because when you hold on to resentment and like you hold grudges against people or you don't forgive people, remember that forgiveness is for you. It's not for the person because they, like I said, they don't even know what they're being forgiven for.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is for you so that you feel free inside so that you don't have to hold that anger in.
Yeah.
So I believe that as humans and mothers, we all make mistakes. Would you agree to that?
Of course. I think we all do. Always. Even in our everyday life. And it doesn't have to be towards even our kids, just life in general.
Yeah, I agree. I agree because I would, as a child, I would be like, I'm not gonna do that to my kid, and then I caught myself doing it, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. One of them was being not letting our kids sleep with us. I would always say I would never be that, and then until he was 18 months.
Really?
Yeah, it was hard.
Honestly, I never did that because I was scared. I was scared that, like, you know how the whole SIDS
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
that was my biggest fear. So I never wanted her to sleep with him because I don't know. I was just traumatized. I was traumatized with so many stories of, like, you know, that stuff like that happening. So I was like, I can't have her near me while I'm sleeping because I don't know.
For me, I was scared of it too, but I started noticing. I don't know. My body knows like not to
Yeah,
move when he's there, so I
same.
just I get
You're like,
stuck.
no, for real, same, but still, I didn't want to risk it. Like, I didn't
Yeah,
want to risk it because the
eh,
times where she would cry a lot, or like she had like colicos and stuff like
yeah.
that, and I had her by me, I wouldn't move. Like, I wouldn't move at all. But still, girl, you never know. The second that you're tired,
For me, it was I was a scaredy cat.
really?
I couldn't. I don't like being up at night.
Uh huh.
Like just
So you
in
didn't
a
want to get
corner,
up.
like feeding him. So I didn't want to get up. I just kind of
Ya viene
I
el
like went to
cocoy.
bed. Yes, I would. I'm a scaredy cat. I don't even go downstairs to make him his bottle. I'll be like,
Really?
"Hey babe, can you go make his bottle?"
No way.
Well,
For
yeah. Now
real?
that I sleep in like a second
Yeah.
floor house, yeah, I don't go downstairs at night. I'm good. Yeah. So I think with
Girl,
my
that's
next
a
baby, I'm gonna have a little fridge.
you
Well,
should. Girl, that's a demon though. You see, they're trying to make you scared.
I know.
You can't be scared because I used to do that. Every time, like, I don't know if y'all ever experienced that when you're a kid and you're like feeling like something's following you and you get scared and you run to the room.
I run up the stairs every day.
Girl, don't let them fool you. They're trying to scare you. You got to say, you know what? I'm not scared because I'm protected by Jesus. Fuck out of my house.
It is a little scary though. I don't like the whole. I gotta turn off the lights and run upstairs real quick.
So back to our like parenthood. We were talking earlier about raising our kids differently. So what would you say, if you're willing to share, that you're doing to raise your kid differently versus your parents?
More kindness.
More kind.
More. I don't know how to explain the word, but it's more like, if he knocks a drink over, I'm not gonna scream at him for it.
I
It
know what
was
you're
an
talking
accident.
about. Yeah.
Like he dropped something on accident. I'm not gonna scream at him for that.
You know what,
You know,
girl?
if he passes the salt and just boop, drop something, I'm not gonna be mad. It was an accident, baby. He gets like upset. He'll start crying, and I'll just be like, "It's fine. Don't cry. Like it was an accident. Here's the towel. Just clean it up." And
Yeah.
that's I feel like, because that used to happen to me a lot when I was a kid. Oh, you're da da da. You're all down. Why would you drop that? And I don't want my son to think that something's wrong with him because he dropped it.
He
Because
made a
even I
mistake.
drop things,
Yeah.
and I'm an adult. He's a kid. He has less, motor skills. He's still working on it. I can't be mad at him for that.
Girl, you took the words out of my mouth
Yeah.
because that is something I'm guilty of. When she was a toddler, toddlers are crazy. My parents, every time I dropped something, girl, it was like I was gonna get my ass whooped, girl.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not that serious. It's not that
It's
deep.
not, but I mean, now that I'm grown, I understand that that's how they were raised. So they would get their ass whooped when something was dropped.
Yeah.
But like, I had that too. I had that fear of like, oh my God, I'm gonna get in trouble. Like, and when my daughter would drop something and she would be like, I'd be like, oh, Eliana. And then I'd be like, I click into my head. And I'm like, it's okay, babe. It was a mistake. It was an accident. Like, I'm like, it's okay. We'll clean it up. It's okay. And I have to, well, I had to because now I work on it and I'm good. Not the best, but I'm better than I was. But I used to do that where for a split second, that spitting image of my mother would come out or my dad. And then I'd be like, oh my God, why'd you do that? And I'm like, you know what? What you said was right because what I was doing is telling my kid that making a mistake wasn't okay.
Yeah.
And we're humans. We're going to make mistakes all the time.
Yeah.
That is so true.
I've that's like one thing, like when it happens, like I have to stop.
Mm-hmm.
I have to like, oh, okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. And he'll start crying. He'll run away. But that's something that, I'm working on that. We try not to do that for him because it's a trauma. you grow up, you think, oh, nothing's wrong with you. You're a kid. The one thing I do get upset is just when we're telling him, don't do it. Hey, you're gonna get hurt. Don't do it. And then he does it, he gets hurt, and he cries. I told you so.
All the time.
I mean, I don't get mad at him. Like, I just get, like, he'll start
You're like,
crying.
bro.
And like, well, what do you want me to tell you? Like,
Dude,
I told you.
I do that to my daughter. She'll be like, meh. I'm like, bro, didn't I just tell you though?
Yep. It's like, I can't do nothing. I mean, here, sana.
Ahorita, si no sano hoy, sanará mañana.
I say, échate un pedo para tu tía Susana. And he just makes a little fart. He's happy and he leaves.
And he's fine.
Yeah.
So out of both of your parents, who would you say you're the closest with?
My mom, definitely.
You think so?
Yeah.
Is it a girl thing?
I don't know if it's a girl thing. I just feel like I can talk to her calmer. She like understands.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like, because with my dad I feel like I'm like apurada to talk. I can't just have a normal conversation like you and I are having. Like if I talk to him, I have to tell him something fast, or else he's like disinterested.
Oh, so he lacks patience.
A lot. So with my mom, I feel like I talk to her about my life.
You're like, I'll be there
she'll
3 hours.
Listen. Yeah, literally. I can't hang out with my mom and be like, hey mom, we're going to the store, because then it'll be like 5 hours later we're back.
That's me.
Yeah.
I think it's a girl thing, to be honest.
Maybe.
I think we just can talk to our mom all day. But you know what? That's true though, because I struggle with having communication with my father as well. My father, you can't talk to him, girl. He takes everything as a joke. He thinks everything is funny. You could be like, I got ran over, and he's like, what leg broke? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm sorry,
bro.
we're laughing, but at least he's like humorous.
He's humorous, but to the point where he doesn't take anything serious. Little old me, when I was like 11, I was so depressed, girl. And I wrote him a letter, like, explaining how he hurt me, because my therapist said, that sometimes just writing a letter would help.
Yeah.
And I had so much anger in me, and I was like, okay, I need to get this out. So I wrote him a letter. And I was ballsy enough to sit there and read it to him. Girl, why I look over at him and he was falling asleep. Oh. Wow. I'm explaining to him. No, it's funny now.
Oh, that's mean.
But while I'm explaining to him the pain that he caused me all these years and what he did and how he failed me, he's like...
You were just like, okay, I'm out.
I'm like,
Thanks.
You know what?
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, no, every single time. I even told him one time, like, I forgive you, when I was like 16. And he's like, for what?
You're just like, you know what? Never mind.
I should have not even said anything. No, but for real, like, and if someone came up to me and was like, I forgive you, I'd be like, oh my God, like, what did I do? I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Because I obviously hurt you for you to be saying you forgive me.
Yeah.
He's like, for what? He didn't even see anything wrong with anything he ever did. Girl, he was bogus, though. He was like the type of dad where he would choose a woman instead of his kids.
Ooh,
he was one
rough.
of those. So if I thought, oh, my dad's coming to pick me up on the weekend, girl, psych, he never showed up.
Oh, that's so sad. Why are you laughing? That sucks.
Well, girl, because
I just
it's pictured... like, you ever seen that TikTok? This is like me and my sister, healing with our trauma, and they're like laughing or whatever.
Yeah, I just pictured, the little kid sitting outside
me
with
and
the
my
step.
luggage.
Yeah. Just with the rain. And
That's me, girl.
Oh, man.
They had to put that song in the arms of...
I can't with that. No, at least I knew my dad wasn't going to show up. Anytime I had a game or something, he ain't going to be there. Unless it was, like, very important. Then he might be there for 20 minutes. But you know what? I think he kind of took it all back, or I kind of forgave him a little more when he was there for 3 days while I was in labor with my son.
Oh, he was there for 3 days?
Yeah. Because they induced me.
That's helpful.
I was there for 3 days, and my mom, and my husband were in there for the 3 days. On the third day, he said, okay, you know what? It looks like he's not coming out. I'm going to go to work.
Call me when he's out.
Literally 20 minutes later, he we had to call him.
Girl,
Like,
your
hey,
son
come
was
back.
waiting for his grandpa to leave.
Yeah. No, my son was waiting on his actual due date to come. Yeah, because they induced me the 26th.
Oh, and your due date was the 29th?
And my due date was the 29th.
That's wild.
And there's a picture of him laughing. Like, it looks like he's laughing. But, he's a baby. He's not going to be. Yeah, it looked like he was laughing. We're like, he's laughing at us all those 3 days. Like, and me
He's
in
like,
pain.
esperando aquí por mí.
But, my dad made up for it. That's what I was trying to say. He made up for it when, I was in labor. One of the nights, I was in so much pain. Like, I had the contractions because they induced.
Mm-hmm.
And with the induction, the Pitocin that they put in, it hurts more. So I remember, like, everybody was asleep except for him. And since I already had my epidural, I couldn't feel my contractions.
Yeah, you're numb, girl.
Yeah, no, numb. I couldn't feel my contractions, but I started feeling the feeling like wanting to throw up. Ooh. And the only person that was up was my dad. And so I didn't have to say a word to him. I just kind of like making the noise, and he ran. I've never seen him be so
caring.
Like, aww. He ran and looked for a bag. And,
good job, Papi Martinez.
Yes, like that he surprised me with that. That one was like he made up for a lot of this, childhood trauma.
Yeah.
But I saw him in a different light, and I had never seen him. Yeah, I'm like, oh, my dad does care for me, because after I did throw up, he cleaned me up. Aww. Yeah, gave me a popsicle afterwards. Aww. And everybody was asleep, so nobody saw the good deed that he did. Yeah. Other than me, and I felt like that was a good.
It was very intimate.
Bonding moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my dad didn't show up.
Again in the eyes.
He didn't show up, girl. Oh. You know what? I only see my dad like 5 times. I'm just kidding. Oh. Girl, no, my dad was bogus. I'm so glad that you experienced that, but girl, my dad didn't even show up to my graduation.
Oh my god.
Girl, I just laugh about it now because I'm like,
that's all I just feel so bad. I'm just sitting here like,
you're like, what do I say? Yeah. Girl, nothing. Girl, I went through the pain already. Now I just laugh about it because it's like
at least you find, it's humorous now.
Yeah, that's what people tell me. Like, you have a lot of dark humor. I'm like, if that's what you want to call it. Like, I just laugh at my trauma now. But I know I've heard a lot that they say it's like a whole healing coping mechanism thing, whatever, coping mechanism. But like, I don't know. I just find it funny now. Like, I don't know. I just laugh. And I don't know if that's like, they say that, like when you're nervous. Yeah. That you laugh. Yeah. That's me. Like, someone could tell me someone died and I'm like, you're lying. I don't know why. I just laugh, but I guess it makes me nervous. But like, about my dad, like, it doesn't make me nervous. Girl, I could sit here and tell you a whole list of things he, did. And like, I guess I'm just over it now. Yeah. Where I laugh about it.
But I think it sounds like you've been through the healing part of it. Yeah. Or at least some of it. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I've gone through the healing part where I can like just sit back and laugh at it now. Where I'm like, why didn't anyone ever tell me that he wasn't going to come?
Not even your mom?
No, my mom was not like, how there's like some Mexican ladies. Well, I say Mexican because it's mainly in the Hispanic culture. Yeah. That they talk shit a lot about like dads to their kids. Yes. Like, tu papá le mierda and all this stuff. My mom was never like that. My mom would never like poison my mind, I guess you would say. Mm-hmm. She would just say like, I can't believe he did that to you. I'm so sorry.
Like, I'm gonna let you figure that one out.
Yeah, yeah. So my mom would never like poison me. She would let me find out by myself what kind of person my dad was. And I'm very thankful for it because, I mean, I wish you could have warned me, Mom.
So you're not sitting there?
So I'm not sitting in the ring with my luggage. But like, like I got to know him for myself. Nobody had to tell me. And I am thankful for that because now even being 26, girl, he's still the same person. Like, I don't hold any anger against him. And like, I'm able to talk to him, but he knows that like, and everyone who knows me knows that like, I don't see him as a father. I see him as like my sperm donor. I don't really have respect. I don't disrespect him, but I don't have respect for him as a father. Like, I don't see him like, don't talk to my dad like that. That's my dad. You know, like, I see him like, what did you do to get talked to like that? You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't disrespect him. I don't call him out his name, but I just don't. I ain't cool with him like that. You know, like
Yeah.
we family from a distance. You know, like I forgive you, but it doesn't mean I have to have you around me the whole time.
Yeah.
So, plus, like I said, he's done a lot of bogus stuff. Like, which is crazy because you know we think that like we have it hard until we hear that somebody else has it harder. And then we're like, dang, I'm complaining because I've heard stories of people and they're like, my dad's a piece of shit. He didn't pay this. He didn't do that. And I'm like, girl, my dad had his girlfriends yelling at me in my face.
Oh my God.
And but you know what? I'm thankful for it though, because I feel like God allowed those things to happen because it made me who I am. It gave me the voice that I have today. You get what I'm saying? Like to speak up and talk about what I want to talk to
Yeah,
and
they're just strong.
not have that fear. Like it made me, if I didn't have a woman's first love is her dad. And if you don't have your dad as a rock to protect you, you learn to protect yourself, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for the heartbreaks. I'm thankful for the lessons because again, it made me understand what I deserve and what I don't deserve. Like, you know how they say your dad teaches you how to be treated? So if your dad's nice to you, you're going to look for a man that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, my dad was shitty to me, so it taught me what men not to look for. Even though I had obviously issues and I would go for emotionally unavailable men, which my dad was emotionally unavailable. But I learned when I was in those relationships, I was like, hey, you remind me of my dad. This ain't right.
Yeah, so like, bye.
I was like, don't you gotta disappear like him?
You're so funny. Did you forget to go get the milk?
Girl, he didn't even say he was going for the milk. He just did. Ni la leche.
Oh my God. That's a running joke with me and my husband.
The milk?
Yeah. He'll be like, when we get inside, he'll be like, hey, don't make me go out and get the milk. I'm like, okay. I'll calm down.
So, what would you say for the ladies out there dating or looking to settle down? What do you think was the thing that made you realize that your husband was the one?
Oof.
He's not. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry, babe. Sorry to break it to you. No, I'm just kidding. I think it was more the way he treated his family, like his sisters and his nieces, and his mom. I know him and his family like been through it. He had a rough childhood, but he didn't let me and my mom talked about this a lot. Like he had a very, very tough childhood. Girl, I'd be crying when he'd be telling me the story. It's like
it's like I lived it.
Yeah, it feels like it's because he's so, I don't, if you were to meet him, he's so kind. He's like everybody, he can get along with any single person.
That's how I am.
Any single person. Like he's so kind, such a warm heart. He's so funny.
Oh.
He's so funny. But like even with that tough childhood that he had, he didn't let
It break him.
like it's when you're going through stuff like that, it's either
It makes you or it breaks you.
yeah, like you go through that hard life and you keep going down that route, the bad route, the gangs, the violence, all of that, or you take it as like a life lesson and you learn from it and you become a better person. And I feel like that's what he's done, even though he's done some not so nice things in the past. He's like made it up a lot. And I didn't have a long time for like to get to know him. I got pregnant right away.
Really?
4 months into being with him.
He said, "Baby, you mine."
Girl, I think it was like 3 months together. He got a tattoo for me
Of your name.
in my initial with like a rose.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I was just like, but what if we don't work out? Like, oh, well, my mom's name starts with M, so it doesn't matter. I'm like, but I would know that was for me, But like, it kind of scared me in the moment. I'm like, oh my God,
Girl, he was down for you.
Yeah, well, it's because I had just came out of like a fresh marriage.
You were healing.
Yeah, I was, because I was married before, but yeah, so like it was scary. I've told him like I thought you were gonna be my rebound. I didn't really think.
You're like, you know what? I wasn't even taking you that serious.
No, like I mean, our first date, I fell in love with him right away. Almost, I was
Really?
jealous. This girl smiled at him. I said, "Why is she smiling at you like that?" On our
Girl,
first date, so I sound crazy, but I don't know. Something just it felt right.
the so new girl, the so new.
It felt right. I loved it. But now, like he's just so kind. And the way he treated his family, I feel like you guys have to always look at that. The way they treat
Girl, I
their
told.
their mom and their sisters and their nieces when you every time like first time meeting their family, his nieces would run to him like Tio Manny, like they would just and they like cling on to him, and he loves everybody. Like he's such a loving person. So I
I
love it.
agree with
I
you.
can go on and on, but I love him so much. Thank you. Thank you, baby.
Oh, look.
Yeah.
She going on and off about you.
Yeah. He's the
No,
best.
I definitely agree that the way a man treats especially his mother is how he will treat you and your children. Because if a man can't even have respect for his own mother, how can he respect you? You know, like how can he love you when he doesn't love the first woman in his life? How can he love his daughters? You get what I'm saying? Like it goes on and on. And I tell this to my clients a lot. Like I have one specific client, which I know she's watching this. um, I told her that, and there was a time where she stepped back and like she said that made her realize a lot of things, and she tried to work it out with this person, and no matter how much they tried to work it out, I guess that never left her mind, and they didn't end up working out. So I think that's very important because if a man is willing to disrespect the person who gave birth to him and like lay his hands on her, stuff like that, he can do that to you in a heartbeat, girl. You know, like that's the person who raised him and fed him,
Yep.
wiped his ass. You get what I'm saying? She was there emotionally, physically, mentally, financially, spiritually, every which way. And if she was there his whole life and you just came into his life, do the math.
Well, for me, it was more what I was trying to say, but I rambled on. It was like, even though he had a tough childhood and his mom wasn't always there, you know, he could have resentment towards her, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, he loves her. And that sometimes I'm like, oh man, like, I would like not like my parents if that happened to me. If they did that to me, I would be upset. But he's like,
He
I'm
learned
over it
how
now. Yeah.
he learned that valuing what you have in the moment is bigger than what you lived in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how I see the world now. Like that's what's helped me move on from like trauma is that I kept realizing that I was living in the past.
Yeah.
I kept reliving those traumatic moments and then like things would trigger me. Like to be realistic with you guys, I can't stand the smell of Play-Doh, okay? And I can't because it triggers me back to me being a child and being like sexually molested, right? So the smell of Play-Doh flashbacks me to little me that was broken and scared. And I bought my daughter a lip balm. Well, I bought me and her one. And I smelled it. Girl, I smelled Play-Doh.
You threw it out right away.
I gave it to my sister-in-law. I was like, you know what? I can't smell that. And she's like, it smells so good. I'm like, I can't. So there's certain things that still trigger me to my past. But I learned that I can no longer live in those moments because I'm missing out what's going on right now.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. You've been through so much.
Yeah. So even like there's a specific perfume that my mom used to wear. And it's a Ralph Lauren like blue one. I'm sure y'all know what it is. And when I smell it, it flashbacks me to my trauma. Has that ever happened to you? Or
Yeah. Certain
smells?
smells. Yeah. I can't really like pinpoint one. I can pinpoint like certain smells flash like take me back to people. Certain
Yeah,
people
that's so true.
like la crema Nivea.
Oh, that's an ass whooping.
No, for me it's my dad. My dad smells like that.
Really?
Like he literally like grabs it and he like lathers
Smothers it
himself
all
up.
over.
And I've always told him I was like, Dad, every time I smell that, like that's you. I just feel
That's
like
happened
that's
to me.
like a staple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I ever wanna, you know, if
Miss
something were to
him.
happen and he's not around and I wanna think of him, I could smell that and I'll remember of him, which I like. So
Yeah, like find me at Target.
yeah.
at
I
the
love
lotion.
Nivea. Now I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think for me it's definitely more of like the smells remind me of like traumas. But honestly, I think it's because I didn't have like a childhood. Like, you know how like when you talk to your friends and they're like, oh, we were playing outside or we were doing this or we were doing that. Or remember when we used to do that as a kid? I was like, huh? I never did that. I never did that. Like I was at home taking care of my mom. Like
I was just gonna ask, what did you do?
yeah. Yeah, like they would be like, "Oh, you ever played this or you ever played that?" And I'm like, "No." Or even my husband would tell me like, "You ever played what's that game with the pink freaking thing?" Oh my god, I think it's like Kirby. He'd be like, "You ever
Oh,
played Kirby?" And I'm
um,
like, "What's that?" And it looks familiar, but I never played.
that's
I
not
never.
Pokemon, right?
I don't know what it is. Something with the Mario Kirby. I don't
Oh
know.
no, no, yes, yes, Mario. I think it is from Mario.
Well, girl, let me tell you, I've never played that. I never had games like that. I never had a childhood like that.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, "Oh, remember when this DS and this thing?" And I'm
The
like,
PlayStation, yeah.
"Girl, what?"
I do have some memories, but
I don't.
they're not they're not like it wasn't a lot. My
Yeah.
parents didn't buy us games like until we were older. Once I was older, then that's when. But damn, that sucks.
But you know what? I've heard the psychologist say that the reason we don't remember things is because when you've been through so much trauma, your brain tries to erase.
Yeah,
You're
it'll like shut
like,
down, so you don't remember.
yeah, so you don't
So you
remember the
don't feel
pain.
the feels. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you tell me like, "Oh, do you remember being 5? Do you remember being 6?" I'll bring stuff up, but it's only gonna be bad stuff. But like, I don't let that, like drag me down today. Like, you obviously have to fight it, especially if you're a person that's been through a lot. You have to fight it, but like, you can't let your past define you.
Of course.
And I think a lot of people will hold that against you. Like, even if you were to change and be a completely different person, they'll be like, "Well, you used to do this." Okay, but that's not me no more.
Yeah, well, you used to be so mean. I used to say this and this and that. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay,
Or
what changed?
even if you were a whore. Well, you used to sleep around. Okay, well, if you gave your life to God and you don't do that no more, that's not you. That was the OU. They no longer know you.
She no longer exists.
Right? She died. But yeah,
For
I
me,
don't
it was
know.
like I used to be so shy. Like,
Really?
I'm shy now, but I used to be so. I wouldn't speak up for myself.
No?
And now I feel like a lot of family doesn't like me because I'm very blunt now. I just say what I want when I want. Like,
See?
I'll try to like soften the blow a little, but I stick up for myself a little more with certain people. There's still certain people that I'm trying to figure out. I'm still okay. Well, should I be like this? Should I be like that? Like, kind of have to like tiptoe around because I'm still like learning myself. But for the most part, I like that I've changed in that aspect. I don't want to be my old self where I wouldn't stick up for myself at all.
You know what, though? What you said that you used to be shy, I think, to be honest with you, that's childhood trauma.
I know
Me.
I've kind of like, I've tried to put two and two together on that one.
Yeah, that means that we've had a parent that wouldn't let us speak up. And I say this because I've also been a victim to this. I used to be very quiet to myself when I was younger. And the reason for that was because my mom was going through issues, my dad was going through issues, my sister was going through issues, my brother was going through issues. And I was the smallest, so they thought that nothing was affecting me. They thought that I wouldn't remember. They thought that because I was little, I was cool. But little did they know that I was seeing everyone broken and it was breaking me. You get what I'm saying? And when they tell me, like, my family members tell me, like, "Well, I went through this. You didn't have to go through it." No, I went through it with you.
Yeah.
I was there. Just because we had different ages doesn't mean I didn't go through it.
It was like I was just a little fly on the wall. You didn't notice me, but I was there.
I was just a little girl, my little luggage. No,
You're
but
gonna
for
make me
real.
snort again.
No, but for real though, that's childhood trauma because I was so quiet. I was to myself all the time. And because I was so quiet, I was scared to speak up because, like I said, things of my dad that he did that made me feel like I couldn't speak up. So since I wouldn't speak up, they thought that I was Gucci. Like they thought she's not going through anything. But little did they know I was just going through all my problems by myself. So I learned to deal with my issues by myself. So which caused me issues of independency. And you know, when you're married, you're supposed to submit to your husband, and you're supposed to rely on this man. But especially when you don't have a father figure in your life, it's so hard for you to submit to your husband. And my husband would tell me all the time, like, you need to stop. Like you want to be so independent, like then you don't need me. I'm like, but I do though.
Stay. Please stay.
Come back.
Yeah.
See, but that's the thing though. Like, that's the issue that starts with us because we're strong and we want a man that's just as strong as us, but that's not possible. We got to be a little bit under the man. And I'm not saying that you can't be a strong woman. You can, but remember that your husband is the person on top of your tier, you know, and between like you and your kids, obviously, because on top of you guys is God, but he's a head household, you know, and it was hard for me to submit to my husband very multiple times and go with his flow because I felt like if you're not as strong as I am, I can't listen to you. But that's wrong.
You have to let him take the reins a little bit.
Yeah, because I wouldn't even like allow myself to hear him out because I thought like, I don't need to listen to no man. Like, I'm strong. I got this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Girl,
and now you're like, hey, can you help me set this up, please?
No, God, not even that. See, the thing is, I am a person that I am so independent that I'll build my own shit. I'll build my own stuff. I'll pay my own things. Like, I'd rather not say that I need anything and me figure it out by myself than having to go ask somebody and see I'm wrong because I've been working on it, but I was so bad at it. Like, I was so bad. So that's what I'm saying, that like my childhood taught me that I didn't have anybody because everyone was doing their own thing.
Yeah.
So I learned to be very independent by myself, and it affected my marriage. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because my husband's like, you don't come and tell me anything. I'm like, because I'm cool. I got it. You know, like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
He's like, no, bro, like, we're married. Like, you got to come to me. We got to talk it out.
So did it mess up, like, a lot of that communication?
It did. Because he didn't know how to communicate because his childhood. And I was very expressive because I'm able to communicate my feelings because of what I went through. Like, I speak up now. Like you said, I'm blunt and people don't like it. Oh, well, get over it. Like Candace says, life is hard, get a helmet. But, like, when I got to that level, he still wasn't at that level. Yeah. When I got to that level of I can say whatever I want because it's me, I got to speak up for myself. Yeah. He still was, like, here. You get what I'm saying? And in his family, the thing is, he has a hard way of expressing his feelings in a polite way. He snaps. Well, used to. He would snap. And his family didn't know how to take it when he would actually start talking back. Like, saying things back because he had issues, like, with his mom. So it was very hard for him to communicate. So when I needed someone up here with me and he was still down here, it was hard because I was like, I can't submit to you because you're not mentally where I need you to be, you know? And then I realized that towards the end, it wasn't that he wasn't where I needed him to be. It's I wasn't letting him be where he needed to be.
That's when you kind of have to help him.
Yeah.
Get there too.
It was me. Like, I wasn't letting him be the man that he wanted to be. You know, like, it was me because I would always say, I'm cool, I got it. So I would brush him off as my husband. I would brush him off as the provider, you know, and that's when I realized, like, I need to step back because I think that I can do it all and I can't. And I shouldn't. Because then if you take it all on your plate, you become very stressed and anxious and annoyed, and then you have issues in your problem. Issues in your problem. You have problems in your marriage, you know. But yeah, that's something that I learned the hard way. But again, those issues came from childhood. Those are the things that made me like that. Yeah. Yeah, or like when you were saying that, like, you would get snappy and then that you had to walk away. You know, like now you know how to walk away to cool off, but like before that, your mouth would just keep running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, it was, especially with my husband, if I tell him, like, just leave me alone, like, leave me alone. Because I know, like, I need that quiet time. I need time to, like, just de-stress for a little. And I'll come back and I'll talk to you. And then I'll be able to talk a lot better. But I just need to walk away for a second. But if someone's there constantly nagging, like, not nagging, but, like, constantly wanting to know what's wrong, I can't.
You know what?
I can't, like...
I'm Isaiah. That's me. I'm the type, the one that wants to talk it out right away. My husband's the one that be like, you know what? He'll walk to the room. I'm like, why are you walking away? What's wrong? Like, and you know why I do this though? Now he understands why I did this, because he would just see it as me kind of, I guess like you could say picking at him, antagonizing him. And that's what he would see it like. But he didn't see my point of view. He seen it as, you keep attacking me. I'm trying to cool off and you keep attacking me. You're not letting me. I'm going to pop off. Mm-hmm. He didn't see it as, I was trying to find the source of the issue so that we could solve the issue.
Work it out, yeah.
Yeah, so it wouldn't turn into something big. You get what I'm saying? Like, I was like, okay, tell me the problem so we can squish it right now. You know? And he thought that it was more of a, bro, I'm trying to cool down. Like, stop bothering me.
I think when it's like hotheads like us, I'm a hothead, we need time to like actually think about why we're mad. Like, why are we mad? So like, leave me alone so my brain can think.
You
more,
know what?
You know?
You're right.
Like, cause I'll just say, if I'm mad, I'll just say things that like I don't mean in the moment, and that'll hurt us in the long run. So I always tell my husband, like he wants to talk about it. I know he wants to talk about it, but I can't talk about it right now, because I'm mad. And when I'm mad, like I don't think straight. I just say, I'll just say what I want, and then after I say mean things, then I'm like, well, now I gotta go apologize.
And
yeah, literally, I'll hurt his feelings, and then I feel bad afterwards. So it makes me feel worse, instead of me being in my room quietly, you know, just on my phone or just listening to music or something, just to get my mind off of it and just kind of get me to cool off, and then I can come back. Because I have noticed when I want to talk about it, in the moment I want to fix the issue, it doesn't really fix anything. We kind of just go on and on for hours about the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll just like, but you this, and then you this, and it gets worse. So okay. I just...
Let me tell you something. Back. You just said that when you guys talk about it, is you did this and you did that. What you guys are doing is just pointing fingers at each other. And see, like the Bible says, when a man gets married, he leaves his family and he becomes one with his wife. Which means now you guys are the same person. You are one. Okay? Even though flesh-wise, you're two bodies, you are one. So his issues are your issues and your issues are his issues. So instead of you did this, you did that, it's we have to work on this. The way we were talking to each other, we should have not been doing that. And I apologize I said that, but you said something that kind of triggered me, and I'd appreciate it if you don't do that again, because I don't want to be saying those things. I know you want to talk these issues out, but just give me 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. Let me cool down, because I don't want to say things I'm going to regret, and we can talk about it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm level-headed like that when I've cooled down. But when I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm still a work in progress. I'm still working on it. I've worked on a lot of things in my life with the whole gym and not being as stressed. And with my son, I feel like me and him I've been trying to create like a better bond with him. Because when I was stressed, I would just be like, go play. Go watch TV.
I know what you're talking about.
You know, like, and I wasn't like active with him, like, ¿cómo se dice? Like, involucrada con él, like, you know, like, I didn't do things.
You weren't involved.
One-on-one. So, like, I've been trying to work on that. I forgot what I was going with this, but yeah.
She's like, you see, I'm a work in progress.
Yeah, there we go. I'm a work in progress. Like, the whole anger thing, I can't.
Yeah.
It's still, but it's the gym has been helping a lot with that. I've been less stressed, less.
That's good. I think a Bible would help you.
Yeah. Well, I know my sister. I actually downloaded the little Bible app on my phone.
Really?
The red one. So I'm working on it. I know I'm not where I should be, but
It's a start.
taking steps there.
Yeah,
And I'm incorporating prayers with my son at night now.
that's good.
His little
Yeah.
cute hands.
Mm-hmm.
Learning how to, kiss the amen after amen and all that. He's learning, but trying to involve it more in our life.
So, speaking about involving in your life, what religion were you raised in?
Oh, we're Catholic.
Catholic. Okay. See, I was raised Catholic too. Um, but I wasn't taught too much. I was only taught the basic, like there's a God, there's angels, there's good, there's bad. And the only reason I was taught that was because my babysitter used to take me to church. God bless her soul. But I wasn't really taught about God as I should have been. So I kind of had to do that diving by myself. But I realize now that a lot of our issues actually come from the spiritual world. Like, our issues are from what we believe in. Because, put it like this, if you find yourself a man that believes in God, so he has God's morals in him. He knows that he has to respect women, love women, be a provider. He knows that he has to take care of them emotionally, physically, whatever. You have to be a good father. You have to be there present, physically, emotionally there. If he knows that God wants all of that and he believes in God, he's going to be the greatest husband and the greatest dad. Mm-hmm. Because he's going to understand that those things are important.
He's going to value it.
Right. It's versus someone who doesn't know anything about God. So he's going to have no value to these things that are big blessings. Right. So I said I had to dig in myself. And then that's when I started realizing, like, girl, I've been living wrong this whole time. Because I used to depend a lot on, like, Santos, evil eyes, stuff like that. Which actually not even the Santos a lot. They would tell me, like, pray, like San Judas, what's the other one? Michelangelo and stuff like that. Oh, and La Virgen de Guadalupe, Mary, the Virgin Mary. They would tell me at church, like, go bow down and talk to her. Talk to her about what? What am I supposed to say? I was taught all these things, but, like, what do you say when you go down and talk to them? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
they didn't really teach you how to have,
no,
like, not a conversation with them, but, like, how to
pray, how to talk, anything, until I realized that I know why it felt wrong when I would go to church and I had the santo, the saint standing in front of me, and it felt wrong. I'm like, why am I praying to this person? Girl, let me tell you. And I know this is hard to understand, especially it was hard for me when I first learned this. We're not supposed to be praying to none of that. You know why? Because the Creator's God. So think about it like this. Say you had 5 kids and your kids go ask your neighbor, hey, Lucy, is it okay if I go outside? You're going to be like, why are you asking her? I'm your mom. You get what I'm saying? You're going to be like, why are you asking her for help if I'm your mom? She didn't have you. She didn't create you. I did. That's disrespectful, right? You're going to feel like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. When I learned that, girl, my mind was blown. I was like, wow. Now I understand why I felt so wrong praying to these things, because I was going to someone else other than God. When I would wear evil eye bracelets, I would think that it was protecting me. Girl, I was depending on a bracelet other than God. That's like telling God, I don't need you. This bead is going to protect me.
I was just going to say that. I need this little piece of string and bead.
No, for real. But see, I was so blind to those things. And I would deal with depression. And my husband told me, take that off and your depression is going to go away. I'm like, you don't know nothing. Girl, I took it off and my depression was gone. Like this. Why? Because the thing is, you become a target to demons when you wear those things, because they think if she's willing to believe on this little piece of bead, she doesn't believe in God, because she doesn't know that the greatest, highest power is God. You get what I'm saying? So demons are like, okay, she's easy to attack. Let's go. Because she believes in a being other than our Father. If the demons themselves believe that God is real, how would we not believe that the greatest power is God? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, even they are scared of him. They're not greater than him. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're not. So, if we believe on a bead, how can we tell God, I believe in God, really, when we're praying on a bead?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I get you.
Like, all those things.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes more sense.
And, like, I gave my husband a money plant one time. Girl, now looking at it, I'm like, I was so stupid. But obviously, you don't know these things. And when it would start dying, he'd be like, oh, let me feed it because the plant's going to die and I'm going to lose money. A fucking plant does not determine your wealth. You know, those blessings come from God. Like, he tells you if you deserve more money or not. Not the plant. Girl, what is it going to do? Is it planting little money trees? You know, little freaking dollar bills on there? No, it is not. And when we learned all this, I was like, fucking throw that plant out. Because you know what? We were idolizing. And the 10 Commandments, I don't know if they teach you this in Catholic churches. Because when I was in the Catholic church, I never heard this. That, you know how it says, you shall have no other God than me? You know, our Father is the one and only God. We're not able to idolize anything. But when we go to Santos and we go to saging and we go to tarot card readings and we go to beads and so on to protect us dream catchers, that is idolizing something because we're thinking this can protect us more than God. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
And then we disrespect God and we get punished. And then we're like, why is my life like this? Because deep down, we're not believing as we should be. You get what I'm saying? Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild though?
No, it's hard for me to like grasp everything because I was taught, you know, like Virgencita and all that. I mean, even though I don't pray to any of them.
Yeah.
Other than Diosito. God. Like,
right.
I only ever pray to him. But like growing up, I did. Like I do remember the Virgen, the Santos, and like all of that, and also the evil eye bracelet. It's because I used to have those.
There's
you know
a reason
when
why...
you know when they're babies, the red, like para protegerlos, but I don't know. I think I just have to grow more on that part.
Do you know why it's called evil eye?
No.
Because it's literally an evil eye. It's literally evil watching through you. That's wild, right? People call it evil eye, but they don't actually know the meaning behind why it's called evil eye. It's an evil eye. If it was something that was protecting you, why don't they call it like angel eye? You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all get what I'm saying.
I know, I get you.
Yeah, so it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when I learned all this, I was like, yo, I'm like, God, this
it has
why
to
you...
like sink in a little.
Yeah, I was like, God, this why you so mad at me? This is why my life been like this? God, I'm so sorry. No, but I'm serious. But you know what? Just to top off the topic, get your Bible, girl. I have one on my storefront right now. It might be on sale for Amazon Prime. But it's so good. The more you read, girl, the more you know, and you have so much more peace. If anything, you go to the gym, you listen to music.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you some pastors on YouTube. Listen to their sermons while you're working out. Oh, girl, you'll stop and pause them and be like, dang, that's me.
That's me.
Dude, yeah, so good.
Do send them to me because I do need more motivation. I've been like listening to more like TikTok videos, like motivational videos.
Yeah.
And there was one that really stuck by me that said, the way you treat people is a reflection of how you feel yourself.
The abundance of the mouth.
Girl, I was like...
Yeah.
I kind of like took a step back. Like,
you know that's in the Bible, right?
I didn't know that, but
that's
you know,
in the Bible.
It's like, so that kind of like, oh man, I want more. Like when I'm scrolling through my feed, I want to hear more of that. So I do watch your stories. I know I don't like them a lot, but I do watch them. I'm a very bad, how do I say it? Like, I don't like people's stories as much as I should, even though I like the content. I just always forget like to.
Yeah,
I
you
should
just
do
keep
that.
going.
Yeah.
No, I
I
get
should
it
do it
though.
though.
But that's actually in the Bible. You know, the way the mouth speaks is the abundance of the heart, what's inside. So if someone's constantly disrespecting you, it's who they are. It's really who they are. That's why when I have clients that come over and they're like, "Oh, well, my boyfriend's at this," I'm like, "He told you that? How can you not see that? That's really who he is inside." You get what I'm saying? Like, if someone's kind to you, their heart is kind. You know, like, and I 100% agree with that, because now when someone speaks, and again, I learned that in the Bible, it's literally in the Bible, when you learn these things in the Bible, it actually makes you have a different perspective on life and how things work and things we made wrong and what we have to fix and how to treat people nicer. And it helps with like anxiety, anger, depression, all those things. um so I think it'll be very helpful, even like, you know,
And
those
it'll
podcasts
also
and
help
stuff.
you see other people in a different light too. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like just like what you said about the boyfriend. It'll also help you see like if someone's treating you a certain way, why they're treating you that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe they have their own demons that they're working through.
And
Then
sometimes,
they don't know how to how do I say it? How to push through it. They don't know how to
mm-hmm.
like gather their emotions and but yeah, it's all work in progress.
Mm-hmm. So I hope all of y'all listening, go get your little Bible. We'll do some Bible study together.
Yeah, we need it. I think everybody needs a little piece of
A little sprinkle of Jesus.
yes. We all need it because God knows
He
how
knows.
this life, like what it's coming to.
Oh yeah. Oh for sure. Oh for sure, girl. But see, I'm excited because I know that God is coming. I know Jesus is coming. So I'm excited. But you know what? I tell everyone who I can, if you believe in God, if you really want to be saved, if you believe in like the Bible, and you know how our parents would explain to us that, you know, God would come back one day and the whole rapture and everything. If you believe, don't keep thinking that you got time. You know, because like the Bible says, no one knows the hour, no one knows the day, no one knows the time. You might be sleeping, you might be pooping, you might be showering, you might be eating. No one knows when he's coming back. So if you really believe, I would encourage anyone to actually study it and learn. But if anything, honestly, it makes you a better person. I feel like the Bible really makes you a better person because it helped me understand things, and I've shared my knowledge to Yessie, and I've seen that it's helped her with her anger and like how to manage problems now. And you know, if we all did that, if we all read the Bible, the world would be a different place. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. We live and we learn.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, but keep learning.
Keep learning. That's to keep growing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what one thing we do need to take, if anything, take the
Mm-hmm.
whole. Even though you say, don't think that we have time. Also remember that it takes time to grow. You
It
can't
does.
just jump.
Remember that every day is a blessing. Every day is another day that God is giving you an opportunity, you know? And then there will come a day where we don't have any more. So, you know,
Literally.
take advantage of whatever time you have left. But that is it for today's video. Thank you for everyone who watched it and learned anything and who enjoyed it. We will be back next week with another episode, and we will be bringing Miriam back soon. We'll
Yay.
see what we talk about, but it was great. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. It
Any
was
advice?
nice. Any advice?
She's like, I gotta get back to y'all.
It's kind of, but take everything day by day.
Yeah.
Don't take everything too serious. Any hardships that you're going through, it'll pass.
Mm-hmm.
It'll pass.
That's what the Bible says. Take it day by day. This too shall pass.
There you go. You see?
You see?
Yeah, yes.
Girl, you gon' slip right in there. You
Yeah.
see? You already got your little feet in the water.
Yeah.
You got this.
I mean, I know. Just gotta make my way through the pool.
You do. You
Yeah.
ain't gonna drown though. Jesus got you.
I know. But yeah, take it. And anything that you're going through, just make sure or remember that it's not forever.
It's not.
Pain is not forever. It's temporary, and it's only gonna make you stronger. With anything, the gym, what like life at home.
Remember that? Oh, I have a tattoo. Let me show you. I don't know if y'all can see it, but that says, with pain comes strength.
There you go.
So everything you're going through will make you who you are.
I have a girl with flowers. Mm-hmm. It's no rain, no flowers.
Oh, mira. Mm-hmm. You need the rain,
so
girl.
Cute. My one of my closest friends has that exact quote, and I told her I was gonna put that quote on me, under her, because that's what it stands for.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but yeah, she's so beautiful. I love her.
Okay,
That's
girl.
what she stands for. And this one, she's my little. This is my everything I like. So.
Yeah. Period. Y'all heard it here first. No rain, no flowers.
No rain, no flowers.
We'll catch you the next one.
Bye.
Bye.